Hello everybody, welcome to another WORTCUNNING Wednesday. I've had a couple of requests for this plant actually. A lot of people are seeing it in their gardens and don't know what it is. But this is Feverfew, Tanacetum parthenium. If you look at the leaves here, this is what the leaves look like. They've got this really feathery tridentate shape. And it's kind of a light green that fades out to a dark green, deeply toothed. And they come, all the leaves have these little pairs of leaflets until you get to the very tip. And they're all shaped like little spades. And the flowers are very chrysanthemum-like. It's related to the chrysanthemum. And actually, so this used to be known as Tanacetum parthenium. I believe the more modern one is Chrysanthemum parthenium. But they are related to the chrysanthemum. I'll walk you over to our actual chrysanthemum. We have a pink chrysanthemum, and I'll show you the leaves on that one and how similar they are. The plant is called Feverfew. It's also called bachelor's buttons, featherwort, flirtwort. It's got a bunch of different names. But this plant can be used for people who are exhibiting a fever, not necessarily to bring the fever down. It is a febrifuge, which means that it does help to reduce fever. But I think that one of its more beneficial uses for people who are sick and have something that exhibits a fever is that it helps with aches in the body. So make a tea, about an ounce of leaf to a quart of water. Let that simmer. It's going to be very, very bitter, but 4 ounces diluted in about 8 ounces of water. Chug it if you can. And that will help with those aches and pains that you're feeling. It will also help to reduce the fever. It's used as a mouthwash for inflamed gums. Again, you just make a tea and swish with it. It's used for migraine and arthritis. So it helps with those aches and pains of illness, but it can also help with the aches and pains of arthritis. It has been used as a migraine medicine, just chewing a few of the leaves every day can help reduce the occurrence of migraines. The number is 70%. I don't know how exactly true that is, but hopeful. As someone who gets migraines, I like having this plant around. It's also a plant that is considered a nervine and is used as a tea to help calm the nerves. Again, very bitter. But if you are someone who experiences loss of appetite when you're anxious, this plant can actually help because it's a bitter, which stimulates your appetite, and it can help to calm the nerves. So if you're someone who has a nervous stomach, this is something that can be really useful. Magically, this is a Venusian plant, so it helps to bring sensations of compassion, but also strong protection. So Venus, one of her correlative goddesses is Freya, and Freya is a goddess of love and war, and she fights tooth and nail for the people that she loves. And this is a really powerful plant, especially right now. After the death of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and David McAtee and so many other black people who have been murdered by the police. And there are so many protests going on right now. This is a really powerful herb to include in any of the spell work that you're doing to protect protesters and to protect the people on the ground doing the work for Black Lives Matter. It's particularly good in protection against illness. All of these protesters are going out doing the work during a pandemic. COVID-19 has not disappeared. It is still a major problem, still very prevalent. And these people are risking their health to go out and fight for the rights of people, of black people, who are severely undervalued in our society. So this is for that reason, this is a wonderful herb to add to those spells. It also protects against accidents. And a lot of protesters are accidentally running into groups of white nationalists, or they're accidentally, quote unquote, running into police and getting injured, sometimes very severely. And so this is again, a wonderful herb to include in those spells. It's particularly good for protection for travelers as well. I know that I've mentioned protection for travelers before. This is an herb that can be used in any of those sachets that you're using for travel. And one of the additions to any of those would be a St. Christopher medal, especially for those of you who do saint worship or saint veneration, who are Catholic, that kind of thing. Or anybody. St. Christopher medals are just so charged with energy that they would be a useful addition anyway. Other things that help with traveling are things like feathers, because birds can travel very great distances, they migrate, so it's an excellent way to add a little bit of that travel power to your charm. You can just tie a feather on to the charm. Usually what you're going to do is add all of your herbs to a piece of red fabric tied with black string, and you're going to put your St. Christopher medal, your Feverfew, and whatever other herbs you're going to use in that bag, and then keep it on your rearview mirror in your glove box, give it to whoever's traveling, whatever. You can also do a black bag tied with white string that does very much the same thing. Just another option. So thank you so much for joining me on WORTCUNNING Wednesday with our good friend Parthenium, Tanacetum parthenium. And then I'm going to walk you over this way. There's a turtle hole. So cool. To look at this chrysanthemum. They're not exact, but they do have that deeply toothed tridentate shape. This is the chrysanthemum flower itself, which is used in luck magic. Stuff like that. Anyway, so thank you again for joining me on this wonderful WORTCUNNING Wednesday. Stay safe out there. Yeah. All right, maybe walk in the twilight. We'll talk to you later.